don't want to be watching the Detroit Lions and the LA Rams in the wild card game. My husband, Schman, is like, don't you want to watch the last of this game? I'm like, no, I just watched Sister Wives Part 2 of Christine Brown's wedding. Didn't TLC do them right? I think TLC did them right. I thought that wedding special, the first part, of course, was just setting up like where they were in Moab, Utah, and, who was coming and, the lead up of Christine and David. But tonight, actually, that I'm recording this, was the actual wedding of Christine Brown and David Woolley. And it was, I thought you could feel the love. I thought it was tasteful. The raunchiest part was Christine Brown giving David a very PG lap dance. I think we all know David Woolley and that shaved head, honey. That motorcycle was getting a lot dirtier later on. But it was very PG. I thought it was actually really great. Cody and Robyn were kept to a minimum. Mary did like a little brief appearance, and then anyway. There it was. It was so good. It almost feels a little bit too, guys, like this is kind of the end of an era, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like this season? I've been with you guys. I've been doing recaps every Monday since September. We're like 5 months in. Don't worry. I'm going to keep the Sister Wives train going because I have gone back and I've watched seasons here and there, but you all know I'm a new fan. So I think I'm going to start recapping and go back from the beginning every Monday if you want to watch with me and watch each episode because we're getting a season 19. At the end of this podcast, too, I will talk to you about the breaking Sister Wives news that is coming out with a news story as to why Cody Brown insist that he and Robyn be in Christine Brown's wedding specials. I'll tell you if that story is true or not. But let's start with the part 2. Christine, they open it with her kind of sitting down. She's at the wedding venue and she's just like, I need a minute to kind of collect myself. She begins to collect herself and then the wedding day begins. I actually loved the way they really didn't like dilly-dally. They just got right into it. We see them all coming down the aisle. Christine's in her wedding dress. I said this from the moment that I saw the wedding dress. I always felt like the dress needed one more fitting. It just seemed too big. I know she's been losing a lot of weight. She looked fantastic. But it did look like it was too big for her in the bust. It did. However, nonetheless, David thought she was fire and sexy as fuck and basically said that. So what does it matter what I think? Then like 25 kids come down the aisle. I mean, it looked like a daycare. When you're out in the street, you go by a daycare and they've got the kids like all holding onto a rope and there's like 20 of them, just like dangling onto this rope so they don't lose any. I mean, that many children came down the aisle. They really did. They totally did. Truly looked great. She had her purple hair, her purple dress. Peyton walked Christine down the aisle until she could meet her father, who was only like a few steps from the altar because we obviously know he isn't well. And Peyton said to her, you have a good man. You have a great man. I thought that was a really nice moment. There's been some question. Peyton did a podcast interview earlier this year, and I think there was some question of if he liked David, if they thought that David was good for Christine, but it certainly seemed like in that moment they 100% did. He did. So I thought that was a great moment. All the kids seem so happy, excited. And I know what you're saying too. Like, Sarah, are they really going to be unhappy on the wedding special? I mean, look, anything can happen on reality TV. I think it would be hard for them to mask their unhappiness if they were truly unhappy. And I think the people that may be not so in favor of this, I'm not saying if Gwen is like a supporter or not. Supposedly Gwen and her mom are cool. Gwen was not there. Robyn's kids were not at the wedding. So I think the people that were happy for her were genuinely happy for Christine and David and were there. And the kids seemed super ecstatic having her come down the aisle, truly, brought down the rings, gave them each a big hug, and then sort of like did this really fun, like kind of moment, to the crowd, played up the crowd, throwing her hands up in the air. I got news for you guys. Janelle did not seem to bring a man. There were rumors all over the webs leading up to this that Janelle had a mystery man there. Now, I mean, could she have had a mystery man there and we didn't see him? I guess it's possible. But my guess is she did not come with a date, that her children were the date. The other thing was, I did not spot Cody's mother was supposedly there, and Cody's sister, at least one of Cody's siblings, his sister, were there. I did not spot them in the crowd, and I'm wondering if they specifically asked not to be on camera. I don't know. Maybe you guys did spot them in the crowd. I was too distracted by the fly landing on David's head when he was like doing the vows. So maybe I missed them in the audience. But they apparently went. Corbin stuck to the script. Corbin married them, and he is David Woolley's son-in-law. They had asked him to not be raunchy, to talk about that you could find love at the, later in life, and I think incorporate, their families and so much joy. So he did that. I thought he actually did a great job with the vows. It wasn't, sometimes when you have people that don't do vows all the time, it gets weird. They tell awkward stories. He really did stick to the script, which I thought was great. Then this fly lands on Dave's head, midway through. But all goes off without a hitch. Christine goes in for a hard-ass kiss. I mean, and Corbin's like, you may now kiss the bride. David couldn't even tilt forward, and she was on him. I mean, it was a monster kiss. There's a lot of makeout, by the way, in this episode. So if you haven't watched it and you're getting ready to tune in and you just want to kind of find out what it was about, let me just tell you, let me prepare you. There's a lot of makeout. I'm fine with that. I'm happy for these kids. And then we have this moment, I guess I'm not sure what TLC was trying to prove with this because it's been such a moneymaker for them. But then the producers ask several of the kids, Savannah, McKelty. I mean, my God, McKelty's got some strong feelings. They asked the kids, do you think polygamy works? None of them believe polygamy works. None. They all say, oh, we're happy for our upbringing and our siblings, but no, polygamy doesn't work. None of the sister wives got the affection that they need, or the love, or the depth, and it's wow. Okay, what are we trying? Are we trying to tell the audience just a reminder? This show is a huge hit for 18 seasons, but don't try this at home. What are we going for here? Savannah was sort of the kindest. She's like, yeah, it's, I think it works for people that want to do it, but in the end, most of the time it lets you down and it doesn't work. It's all right, I guess that's a politically correct. McKelty lets it rip. She's basically like, polygamy's trash. Look what it's done to my family. It's torn everybody apart. We're no longer really a family. Yeah, I'm grateful for my siblings, but my mom was completely deprived of a healthy marriage. Whew. Basically short of calling her dad a sperm donor. And then we glimpse into Mary, and they ask Mary and Janelle, do you want to find love? And then it's this moment where we kind of go away from the not away from the wedding, but Mary's super positive. She again reiterates for the umpteenth time we've seen her and everybody else be like, we're happy for them. We're happy for them. And Mary says that she hopes she can find that type of love as well. Then, pen drop. Then we go to Janelle. Janelle goes, you know what? I really see David on a porch in rocking chairs, having many good years, and just living this long, healthy life and growing old together. The ultimate dig at Robyn. The ultimate dig at Robyn's teary-eyed. I thought I was going to end up on a porch with my sister wives. Wow. I didn't expect that from Janelle, but Janelle went there. She went there. Then they're taking a bunch of family photos. What I appreciated about this part two, because a lot of times sister wives, these episodes are so long. We get so many flashbacks. Honey, we didn't have a flashback in sight. Things moved, okay? We got to the point. We went from walking down the aisle, we did the vows, everybody's congratulating. Now we're getting to the dance floor, we're taking family pictures. So everybody intermingled. it was very important for Christine and David that the families intermingle. They didn't want like one side of the picture being one family. They wanted tons of photos and everybody intertwined. And so there it was. None of Robyn's kids came, and they make a point of having Janelle say to the camera, all the kids that weren't here, they need to know that they are always welcome in this family. You know, you could read into that a lot. I mean, is that to Gwen? We know that Leon, Mary's son, was there. You know, you could read into that a lot. Did Robyn's older kids not want to come out of loyalty to, you know, Robyn and Kody not being invited? Obviously, the younger kids are younger, so they probably wouldn't come without their parents. That might be a little bit more awkward. But they make a point of saying that. Christine, at that point, is like, I'm done. I'm taking off my shoes. You know, honey, I'm sticking these shoes under the table. Like, let's rock. And then we move on to them having dinner and dancing. Now, can anybody tell me this? Is this a wedding tradition? Were they just hungry? Why were Christine and David eating an orange at the table? Like, why? That was weird, right? They were like peeling an orange and eating like a random orange. Was that just like a snack or something out of the table arrangement? I mean, right? What was that? Or are you supposed to eat an orange on your wedding day for good luck? Honey, that was the part I was the most lost about. Like, what? Why are we eating this? All right, before we talk about the dancing and the infamous lap dance that everyone was talking about, let me thank a sponsor. You guys have fabulous skin. Obviously, Christine, Woolley's skin was on point. So was her makeup. I don't know. Does she use one skin? Who knows? We know she uses a lot of Plexia. She's drinking that green tea. She's sipping the pink tea, not the green. She's sipping the pink. Well, with OneSkin, whether it's your wedding day or just a regular day, OneSkin is going to work, honey. The products do not just treat the surface of your eyes, your body, your face. In fact, they go cellular. Leveraging their in-house cutting-edge R&D platform, they're able to measure basically your age and reverse the molecules of your aging skin in their lab. By staining skin samples in their lab, they take cells, they analyze them, they change to the skin's genetic data before and after exposure to the OS01 peptide. That is their secret. I've been using their facial cream, and in a third-party 12-week clinical study performed by third-party research organizations, OS01 Face was clinically proven to strengthen the skin barrier, improve skin health markers, and diminish visible skin aging. With 87% of users. I've been using it. Doesn't my skin look younger? You can check me out on YouTube. I use their eye cream and their face cream. OneSkin is the world's first longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code TSFS at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with the code TSFS. And after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please say the Sarah Fraser Show and support the show. New year, healthier skin. That's OneSkin, baby. Then we do the dancing, okay? Also, you know, in the episode, we do flashback to Kody and Robyn, and that was actually at the start of the episode. And again, Kody and Robyn are asked, like, today's the day, what do you think? And Kody just starts verbal diarrhea. I'm going to keep talking as long as the cameras are on. And that's when Robyn takes his face and starts kissing him to shut him up, and then tries to shoo the cameras away with her glove. That's really the only time they appear. And then Kody does appear at the end of the episode when they talk about the Brown family mosh pit, the infamous video of Kody sort of moshing, and he says that he misses that. And then we get to the speeches. Let's talk about the speeches of this wedding. So Aspen kicks it off. Of course, Christine's daughter. And don't we feel like Aspen's speech was cut short? Now, I'm sure it was cut short for time, right? But do we feel like the best part of it, the meat of it, was probably cut out? Because I do. I feel like there was more to it. And that was cut off. It was very, kind of fluff. David, you're great. Mom, you've always been there. Then we get to Katie. Now, Katie is David's daughter. To me, this was the best speech of the night. Like, you talk about truth. And actually, everybody seemed a little awkward. I'm not going to lie. Katie is like, I manifested you, Christine. I read or saw online that you were single, and I called my dad up and I go, she's single. Get your dating profile up. And then he like made their dating profile. I mean, if they weren't so in love, it's a bit weird. Right? It's like a little bit weird, but also inspiring. Inspiring, I guess is the word. Like if you've ever had a dream of marrying Brad Pitt, dude is single. Probably on Raya, which is the high-end dating site. So I guess anything is possible. You could literally manifest it because Katie said that in her speech, and she basically did. Then their moms speak. And again, everybody's speech was edited, I'm sure, for time. David's mom was very sweet, so happy that they'd found one another. She was very emotional. I'm sure, David's been through a lot. Sounds like a great guy. Corbin spoke so highly of him during their vows that David is the type of guy that, gets up early, goes and plows a single mother's driveway, came home even after losing his wife, has 8 kids, helping out the neighbor next door who's paralyzed. And then Christine's mom spoke. That was very interesting. I mean, Christine's mom describes her as a warrior, as a fighter, as somebody who deserves, people in her life need to reckon with kind of what they've done to her. I mean, that was a little interesting, right? Like ominous in a bit of a way. Like, I don't know if it was a sudden veiled threat to David or probably more like you've been through hell with Cody. People don't even know. And now you can see the world through your rose-colored glasses because you've created this. That's what I took from it. That was kind of intense. A lot more makeout. They love to make out with each other. I think that's a great sign. Have you ever been to weddings? I have been to weddings. I kid you not. And they got divorced. The couples have gotten divorced where the bride and the groom are like on opposite ends of the wedding venue. Has anybody been to a wedding like that? It's awkward. It's awkward. And you're thinking to yourself, I'd like my gift back. I'd like my $250 gift back. I have been to weddings like that. So, to see them all over each other, holding hands, touching one another throughout the ceremony, I think is a great sign. And I did love how much David spoke so highly of Christine throughout the special. And really, basically, anytime you see them, I think that's always a great sign of a man, like not taking digs at the wife. I mean, we all live through Kate and John Goslin. Everything none of us want to be in. Then we get to the dance floor. They're doing a flash mob. They go to Cody. Cody wants to be in the Brown family mosh pit. That's what he does miss. I did love it. The kids were drinking Coors Light. All right. Let's have a Coors Light. Then we get to the lap dance. Now this part, first of all, I thought was PG. Some of the family members and the kids looked like totally awkward. But Jared, who we find out is a family friend of David's, initially starts to give David a lap dance. And David's, I'm going to be honest, like we're going to be seeing a different side of David. I think everybody's gathered that. Like David's a bit of a wild child. I think Dave likes to let it rip, get the edibles going, have a beer. The guy enjoys life. No, I don't blame him. Who wants to be around a stick in the mud? Do we want to, like Cody should have a couple Coors Lights and a hit, come on. So anyhow, that is where that was at. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that. But so supposedly Jared sort of motions to Christine to come on over and she starts to give Cody. It ain't Cody. We know that. She starts to give David a lap dance. Very PG. Like at first she's sort of straddling him, shaking her booty a little bit. And it's hard, if you've been in a wedding dress, it's pretty hard. You got a lot of lace. They're heavy. You're sweating at this point. Mine had a whole bunch of stains. Somebody lost their tampon on the dance floor at my wedding, and I had danced through the blood. It was, I know what you're like. I know you're like, I'm tuning out. I'm done. I'm out. I know, but it's a true story. So my dress got trashed. But Christine looked a little, looked like she was trying to get into it. She was trying to Cardi B it, and they wanted to do some WAP, but it was hard. So she unstraddles him. She goes around the back, does a little bit of a lap dance, kind of back dance, shakes her cleavage, and then they cut it off. And Janelle's like, it was awkward. It wouldn't have been my first choice. I didn't think it was that bad. Hopefully it got worse, meaning better, like she got raunchier, because they panned to some of the people's faces in the audience. Everybody looked uncomfortable, but David. David was down. He was down for the get down and enjoying him. But overall, I thought you could really feel the love, the flash mob. Everybody seemed happy. They had a shit ton of cameras there. The production was like 5-star. It really looked high end. It looked so great. Christine's over the moon, and she got her wish and her dream. Now, the news story I teased to you is, we all, as fans, we all had the question last week, was why were Cody and Robyn and even Mary, why were they in this wedding special that was supposed to be about Christine? Now, a couple sources are saying that Cody was featured in Christine's wedding special because he needed the paycheck. A source revealed. According to this source, he had good reason. Sister Wives is Cody's show. He's the head of the family. And in the beginning, he was head of the family's contract. He was the one who initiated the show, and it will forever be his show. He's being kind, a source reveals, to allow Christine, do we feel like this source is Robyn, on the show at this point. But as far as the special goes, he had to be part of it because he knows it brings in money. Cody, 54, was part of the wedding special by appearing in a filmed interview with his last standing wife, Robyn. They, along with his ex, Mary Brown, were not invited to the wedding. This is his life, and it's what is happening, and he is a part of it, even though he is no longer with and around David and Christine. Cody's apparently going nowhere. Cody chimed in on his ex-nuptials. At one point, he revealed how he found out about the wedding, which, of course, was seeing an announcement at his sister's house. So do we think that Cody, made a fuss and insisted on being in the wedding special? Nothing would surprise me. And like I've told you guys, I've been in TV and entertainment a long time. There's all kinds of things on the back end with contracts, especially when you are this many seasons in. So nothing shocks me. Maybe Cody has in his contract that he has to appear in every single episode. And by doing so, maybe every episode he's in, he gets paid. Wouldn't that be an interesting part, even if he's only in it for 2 minutes? Which kind of makes sense because Cody, Robyn, Mary were in it for such a short amount of time in this part too. So that concludes season 18. We already know we're getting a season 19 of Sister Wives, and I'll have more scoop on that. Are they filming? Are they on pause? I'll tell you about that on Wednesday when I do my TLC Talk update. But love you guys. Follow me on TikTok for more at The Sarah Fraser Show. Bye, everybody.